Episode 4 Act 2 literally starts next week, and man, time flew fast this act. It felt like only yesterday that the new year started and Episode 4 Act 1 began, but here we are. The devs promised a lot for this episode. That's why today, we're going to cover everything you need to know before Act 2 drops. What is going on, ProGuides family? It is your host, Sergeant Frost, and let's not waste any more time and hop right into this video. To start off this video, let's go over some general expectations and pieces of info the devs gave us about Act 2. First up, we are not getting a new agent or a new map in this act. The devs stated in their State of the Agent address that they intend to focus on agent balance and fixing the overall game health in Act 2. So that means we'll be seeing more balance patches and agent changes this act, but we won't be seeing Agent 19 or a new map until Act 3. But at the same time, we do have YORU's rework confirmed, which we'll cover more in depth in a little bit. If you want to take advantage of what's to come in Act 2, you gotta come visit us at ProGuides.com, where our Radiant and Immortal level coaches can help you adapt to any meta. Whether it's fundamentals or agent-specific knowledge, our top-ranked coaches have a lot to give you, so make sure to click the link if you're interested. Moving into agent balance, let's talk about potential nerfs first. A few agents in particular that could be on Riot's radar for nerfs are Jett, Sova, and Astra. Simply put, these agents have been strong in the meta ever since the start of 2021, and without some changes, they will continue to be strong going forward in the future. We could potentially see some balancing done to these agents in Act 2, in order to bring down their viability and overwhelming pick rate. For example, Jett has been the uncontested best duelist in the game for quite some time now. The main reason she has been so oppressive comes down to a few things, such as her speed and agility, her dash, her econ-friendly yet deadly ultimate, and how good her smokes are. Hopefully Riot tones down her dash to make it less oppressive to play against in-game. Jett relies on speed and repositioning, and changing her dash drastically affects that positive quality about her. This is one example of how Riot could potentially nerf a very powerful character to tone down their oppressiveness without completely gutting or drastically changing the character. Now, let's talk about agents that could use some buffs in the future. Phoenix, Omen, and Brimstone are a few characters that have started to slip out of the meta. They're frankly a bit outdated as agents, and could use a few changes to help them find a foothold again. For instance, Omen once was the best smoker in the game hands down, and then in March of last year, Astra was released and Viper got a rework. Both of their kits were so strong and useful that they quickly bumped Omen out of the meta, and he has been barely used since. Some people might argue that since he's used a lot in lower elos and rank that he's still viable, but he's almost absent in pro play, so his kit is definitely not up to par. One way he could be made more viable is to make him more of an econ-friendly controller. His blind could be buffed back to 200 credits and it shouldn't blind teammates. And secondly, make both of his smokes free again, and maybe find a way for him to deploy multiple smokes at the same time. Another way you can buff Omen is to make his ultimate more powerful. A while back, there was a supposed leak buff where Omen's ultimate would blind people near it at his target TP location. This would be a great buff to Omen that would make playing him more helpful to the team since he would be bringing a lot more utility to the table. This is only one example of a few ways the devs could buff an underperforming agent like Omen, but we'll have to see. I'm really excited to see what the devs have in store for us in Act 2. While we are still on the topic of agent balance, let's talk about YORU. The YORU rework is confirmed to drop when the new act starts on March 1st, so we have an exciting new and improved agent to test out and try. If you've been paying attention to the dev state of the agents recently, you should have a good general idea of what YORU's new kit will look like. For a simple rundown, his flash is still the same. His footsteps have been replaced with a clone of him that runs forward and will flash at enemies when shot. His TP travels a bit faster and can be activated while in his ultimate, and his ultimate now is improved by giving no visual cues and the sound cues have been changed up a bit. YORU is looking like he has the potential to be a major player in the 2022 meta. Before we move on, let's quickly get to our question of the day. Today's question is, what would you personally like to see changed in Valorant in the future? It doesn't have to be just gameplay, it could be maps, agents, the client, or more. Personally, I would love to see more reworks of maps that the community aren't too fond of. I think changes like these could go over really well with the community in the long run. Let us know what you would like to see changed in the comment section down below. Moving on to potential leaks of map changes, it was leaked on social media a little while ago that there could be some possible rework changes to the bomb sites on the map Icebox. The leaked images display changes to the A and B bomb site, focused on making the site design a little more linear and defender-sided. B main was changed to give attackers less room to hold for aggression, while the yellow box seems now to be harder to hide behind for the attackers on retake. If you want to see more, make sure to check Floxay's video on this where you can see more of the specifics. For this one, it's almost like we're a broken record, but it seems like the devs have promised us a tournament mode back in episode 3 of last year and we still haven't gotten it. But in the dev diary, they did say that tournament mode was coming this episode, although it's not necessarily confirmed for this act. You guys know how hyped I am for this already. I can't wait to play with my friends in an in-client tournament mode. The only hope is that Riot delivers on it soon. And lastly, the final thing we can expect to see this act is the community battle pass. If you watch the most recent dev diary from the Riot Games devs, they teased a few images of some of the cool new skins, sprays, and buddies we can expect to see in our first ever community battle pass. For anyone who's not familiar, a community battle pass is a battle pass that's available to everyone and doesn't require payment in order to unlock the items within the pass. It's rare for game studios to release battle passes that are free to the community with such nice content, but it's a great time to be a Riot Games fan, am I right? These are all the changes, leaks, and hopes we have for Act 2. It will be interesting to see if Riot follows through on their promises and changes a lot, or all of what they have promised us over the past year. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to keep up to date with the latest Valorant news, updates, and guides. Also, make sure to check out our website for truly amazing on-demand coaching, ProGuides.com. This has been your host, Sergeant Frost, and good luck on the grind this act.